What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Let's Build the U.S.S. Enterprise A 2.0 Season 1 Episode 20. I'm ZeroElite, and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. And if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and help me in supporting the channel. Today we've got about a 15-minute episode. We're going to be picking up where we left off, working on our pylons. We're going to get a little bit of, just a tiny bit of detail in on them, and then we're going to shift gears to further blending them in with the shuttle bay, and we'll get a little bit of work done on the shuttle bay. So without further ado, let's kick back, relax, we're going to dive right into this. So we're just going to keep this short and sweet with what we're doing right now. We're on the front of our pylons, and we're going to do a pinstripe. You can see I started out with the cyan, I switched it to the blue. Honestly, do whatever works best for you, because there's some people that will argue that the blue looks better on the Constitution. Others will say cyan is more accurate. I mean, I don't know. The cyan looks cool, but part of me thinks the blue looks a little bit more elegant than the cyan. But again, you know, this is dealer's choice, so it really doesn't matter what I think. What it ultimately matters is what you like. And hey, if you don't like either blue or cyan, you like black, use black. If you want to don't want to even have a pinstripe in the front, do that too. That's a great thing about these builds, is that it's customizable, and you can do anything to your heart's content that you want to make to this build, and nobody has the right to tell you otherwise. So might as well have a little bit of fun with this, especially since we're taking the time going episode to episode to build this out. You might as well get little bit of enjoyment out of it, you know what I mean? Now that's looking pretty good. Just to try it out, I'm going to switch out the blue and I'm going to do a light gray concrete. Even using the black could very well be an option. Now see, I don't like that line right there. I don't like that right there. And this cut line actually right here is what's ultimately going to force us later on in the tutorial series to remove those extra layers from the pylons on the outside of them. It doesn't look terrible, but it's just like, it's making my eye twitch, and when that happens, I can't have it. That doesn't look too bad, but still, like, the issue is that it's not going at an angle. These two rows are just one on top of the other instead of going up and out with the cut. So in order to fix that, we would just have to get rid of those. But don't do that just yet. I'll show you guys exactly what we're going to do. So now we're going to be slightly shifting gears here, and we're going to be getting a little bit of work done on the very lip of our shuttle bay. Trying to make a decision here as far as what changes I want to make, but I'm kind of wanting to bring it in a little bit, because what I'm noticing, at least just my opinion for right now, that it's a little bit too elongated. That is something on the Kelvin version of the Enterprise A, that the shuttle bay is pretty much just like wedged right in there, all up in between the pylons. And it really doesn't have any type of bay area like I have right here for landing or anything like that. So I want to try to tighten this up a little bit. So we're going to be making a couple of changes here. Now when you guys see me jumping back and forth making all these changes, wait a minute or two to go in and start making your changes. Now this actually isn't looking too bad. I think we can keep this. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go back and we're going to get rid of all the access. But just to briefly touch on that again, yeah, anytime you guys see me or making a couple of changes really fast, wait a moment, watch what I do, then go and make those changes. And if you're not sure, go back, rewind the video just a little bit, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. We really don't have a lot of room to work with back here. It gets very thin. And I actually got a hole right there. I gotta fix that. because as you can see, we've only got a 1 layer thick um, bottom going there. So there's some things that we could do to counteract that. We could always add another layer if we wanted to. That's definitely an option, especially if you want to get in a little bit more of that detailing on the belly of your ship and you don't want to see all that while you're walking through it. So I think this is looking pretty good, what we have here so far. So we're going to be shifting a little bit now, and now we're going to work on just a little bit of blending, a little bit more with the pylons and the shuttle bay. So I'm not 100% confident what I'm doing right now is going to work. So I'm going to use a blue builder line. Really what I need to do here, that blue builder line, I need to bring it right up to the point of where it's cross-sectioning with the cut line for the outside pylon, where it's got that gray going down the sides, right here. So it should be stopping like about there. But we're going to let it ride out for now. But when you start to identify these things and what you need to do, it's going to make it a little bit easier on you guys as far as what changes you need to make. The issue that we're going to have with this change that I'm making now, and you can see that we're going to start deleting stuff, is that it's not going to fully blend in the way that it should. So we're going to do a little bit of trial and error here, just to mess with things, see what we can do. But you know, this is exploratory building. I can't stress this enough for you guys. This is how I come across at least 80% of the stuff I end up doing on my ships, because I'm just willing to try something different. And I keep spinning my tires until I land somewhere that I want to land. Now, to get back into this a little bit more with the shuttle bay, another reason that we're reworking it, and I talked about this when we did the first attempt on the shuttle bay, our entryway point, the ceiling, everything, it is way too small right now. And if we want to be able to put in a shuttle bay, we're going to have to beef this thing up a little bit in the back. The stuff I told you with making it being flush from the sides with the pylons, that's something that we're going to be doing a little bit later on. I don't think we're actually going to cover it today. So it's more of a minor spoiler. Now that looks better, but from the back end, but still one of the issues that maybe it's just slightly too high, maybe by 1 block. If we brought it back some, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. Because what's going to happen now, when you look at the ship from a side, the side profile view, the shuttle bay area is going to stick out like a sore thumb. And at least on this version of the Constitution class refit, we don't want that. So you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. It's going to be so bulbous and just sticking out everywhere, and it's not going to look all that great. But I'm still in denial at this point in this episode, and I think somehow I'm going to be able to make it work. So we're just going to keep on going. But this is why I tell you guys, make these changes with me, so that this way everybody can be on the same page. I know sometimes it could be a pain in the ass, and you guys aren't going to hear me curse a lot on here. I make a point not to. But trust me, if anybody gets it, it's me. Because I'm building this thing right next to you guys. We're doing this step by step by step. And I feel the same way when it comes to having to retrace your steps a little bit, rebuilding something again, going back. I mean, it is what it is, you know. But the way that I can justify it is that if I don't make that change, it's going to drive me crazy. Because I know it's not what I want, and it doesn't look right. And for that reason, it's worth it to me. So with all that being said, if you want to make this change that I'm making, I say go for it. If you don't, you can definitely do that too. You're just going to have to make some tweaks here and there, and finish that off with what we currently have before I made these changes that we're making today. That's something I do get asked from time to time. Like, people ask me what to do when they do veer off, like in a left or right direction, like at some point in the tutorial. And I mean, it sucks sometimes because I think people think that I'm not trying to help, but when I tell you, like, well, you know, just try out a couple of different ideas, look at different reference material, because I'm not going to be there to help you guys, you know what I mean? So this is stuff that it's definitely doable, but you just have to know what you want, basically. And nobody's going to know that better than you. This is one of the reasons I think my builds come out as well as they do, because I know exactly what I want, and I keep working at it until it comes out the way I want it to. Now, all things considered, what we do have going on here doesn't look terrible. It just needs some work, because the shuttle bay, I really don't want it to be sticking out like a sore thumb, and that's exactly what we got going on right now. But we're gonna get there. Just remember, one step at a time, one move at a time, and we're just gonna knock this out one episode at a time and one step at a time. The one good thing I like what we have here is that now we can start to envision the room that we're going to have to play with. And it's like, okay, this shell that I have, it works, but maybe like if we cut it, like on one of the, and make it only go up to one of these cuts like I was talking on the pylons, bring it back a little bit, that could definitely solve that problem, which it will. But we're going to slightly shift gears a little bit. We're going to go on the inside of our shuttle bay, and now we're going to get rid of the access. Don't need it. Let's get it out of there. So this way, it's not confusing us and jumbling things all up together, because we want to clear all this stuff out as we're building out our shuttle bay. And just trust me, this is going to save you guys, again, from making mistakes. So we want to make sure that we're going in here and getting rid of all that access, because this will also give us an even better gauge of the exact amount of room that we have to play with. And I think it's funny because, like, my ships in Minecraft, I build them at like half scale, and the Kelvin Enterprise A here, I built it more of in line and scale with the original Enterprise A. If it was the size it was in the Kelvin timeline, it would be bigger than the Enterprise D, and I'm just going to say no to that. That's my attitude on it being that big. It's just a big old no. But my point is that making it the size that we are making it, we're still going to have plenty of room to do everything that we need to do. So you can see I'm making a cut on here, so I think we're getting ready to get rid of some of the access on the forward part of this cut line. But what you could even do also, if you wanted to, if you're so inclined, this could be a hull support bracket. That's something that I did on my 2009 Enterprise A. There was a lot of that going in on the interior with the lower hull. You're not going to see too much of it on here though, because again, you know, I try to, when I go back and I do the same class ship again, because there are a bunch of different variants of the Enterprise Constitution class, I try not to do the same exact interior for you guys, just you know, to mix it up a bit. But I think we are getting towards the end of the road here, at least as far as the Constitution class goes, because at this point there's really only a couple more that I can make. I could do a tutorial for the original Constitution class refit, and I could do a tutorial for the 2009 Enterprise, and that could be something down the road. But I don't want to get your guys' hopes up right now. That's not going to be something that's going to be coming anytime soon. I want to give this tutorial a chance to breathe and to have its roses. And I also just don't want my channel just to be about the Constitution class Enterprise A. I want to be able to branch out and do other things, and we've been doing that over the last couple years, and I want to keep that going. But with that being said, you guys can expect me to sprinkle those in as we're going. I just don't have an estimated time on when I'm going to do them, and I don't even have them up on my Discord yet on upcoming builds, so I haven't even committed to doing either one of those. But I do foresee inevitably that that will happen. Now see, that looks a lot better. It's a lot more compact, but we're running into the same problem that we had when we started working on this area today originally. Now our very, very tail end of the shuttle bay, the lip, essentially, it's too big now. So we're going to have to make some adjustments there. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we kind of got this lined up a little bit, just a little bit better before we start spinning our tires even more. This stuff is going to happen, but we still need to try to work smarter, not harder where we can. That doesn't look too bad. But again, you can see what I mean, that lip now on the back end of the shuttle bay, it's just way too big. So what do you guys think we can do to fix that? There's a couple things we can do. We can make another edit to the back end here, make this smaller. We might need to play around a little bit more with the hull here to make everything blend in together. But I'm going to leave you guys with that thought, and maybe between now and next week's episode, just think about what you could do to fix that issue. These are things that I think about when I'm doing these builds. When I'm stuck on something, I let it marinate, because sometimes you got to walk away and think about what you're going to do. So stop and think about what you're going to do, and when we come back to finish this, we'll see if I did the same thing that you guys did. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for me today. I just want to thank everybody again for tuning in today's episode. And if you did enjoy this episode, if you can help me out, hit that like and subscribe button. I can't thank you guys enough for that. New subscribers, don't forget to hit notifications on and join the Discord below. I'll have a description, or excuse me, I'll have a link in the description below. But yeah, I think that's going to be it. So I just want to thank everybody again today. I hope everybody has a happy and safe weekend. And of course, what did you make in Minecraft today? Post your photos in the Discord.